bold words, bold words. Of Daniel Triple D Dubois. When you're in the ring, you become a god sometimes. And let me counterpunch. I think that what Daniel's trying to say is you got two options. One, Daniel is feeling himself, and his last fight, of course, with Anthony Joshua, and I think he was reminiscing the events and the feeling he had in there beating up AJ, and he felt like a god thereof, and therefore. Or two, I think you become a god sometimes means like the feeling you get when you're overall and you're victorious and you're doing your thing, and people are watching you and you're on this elevated stage, is, this platform of destruction where you are putting as much brutality to a person or the other person as you possibly can, and I think that's what he's trying to say. A lot of times I'm looking at the comments and people are saying, him becoming a god. I don't think that he's like, I walk this earth like a god, like Charles Martin. I don't think that's what it is, but is it in the same ballpark? Yes, because I only think it shows confidence within himself. I wouldn't really choose that word, but I mean, it is the word that he chose. He feels like a god in there. And if you look deeper inside someone, within someone, about someone, what is the one thing Daniel can do? Fight, box, punch. So I think, when you're passionate about something or something that you're driven to do, you excel in a god-like elite way. And I think he feels that he's doing that. I wish him well in his fight to come with Alexander Usyk, because it can't hurt the division if he beat Alexander Usyk, honestly. I think it could only bring intrigue and more demand for him to fight other fighters at this point, besides the same old fighters, you know what I mean? But him saying that about, when you're in the ring, you become a god sometimes, I think, you have to raise to the next level. I think you have to, rise to the occasion. You have to get up for that fight, But I do respect him saying sometime, because sometime, we haven't seen him every time do that which he says he does sometimes. And that's become a god or become victorious in what he's doing. Lately, he has, Hergovic, Miller, Joshua, he has. But you're looking at Danny Dubois. A lot of people may think he's smelling himself. I think, honestly, he's going to need that confidence to stay in the fight, because I think this particular fight, it's going to be better than the first fight. I think Daniel won't quit this time. And if he does quit, he's going to take more damage to quit. He's going to actually have to be pressed, and that him taking a knee will be warranted instead of what the fuck was that type thing. You know what I mean? I think if when he does fight Usyk this time, he's going to go all out. And I think he knows that this second chance don't come easy. And I think, a lot of things had to take place in order for him to get this fight like he did, because honestly, he pissed a lot of people off, including Turkey Al-Sheikh. So, I think he's going to rise to the occasion, because he knows what he had to do. He had to stop a whole fight for this fight to come through, honestly. You know what I mean? And I think if he felt that way about Joseph Parker, he did the right thing. Because if he didn't feel that he was going to beat Joseph Parker, you know what I mean? Why fight Joseph Parker? But you're fighting the guy that you fought before, so the devil is also better than the one you don't. So it is a good call. So I think that him saying that, hey, sometimes you become a god, I think he knows he has to become a god. He has to come that creme de la creme. You know what I mean? That god, like, he has to be perfect in order in everything that he does against Alexander Usyk. So you guys tell me what you think Daniel Dubois means that you have to become a god sometimes in the ring. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.